Everybody has their story about how they got into aviation, and here's mine. Got to wind back a few years. My father was getting a little stressed that I wasn't doing very well at school. Came up with an idea that maybe a career in aviation would be good, and suggested that I go to the States to get my pilot's license. I, unfortunately, regrettably now, looking back on it, said no, I'm happy, I've got a girlfriend, got a moped, got a load of buddies around here, why do I want to go? But thanks anyway. Wind on a few years, and it was my daughter's birthday, her 18th birthday, and we always like to give our daughters experiences, so I booked her onto a flying lesson. She went flying, she came back and said, yeah, it's good fun, it's all right, but thanks, but no thanks. So I had to accept that because that's what I did. And at that time, my wife sort of looked at me and she said, it's something you've always wanted to do, why don't you do it? So within a week, I was booked in my first instruction, and my instructor sat down with me and said, look, before we go ahead with this, just think about the mission that you want to achieve at the end of it. He said, so many people fly from A to B for a cup of tea, they take their friends, families out for a flight, and then don't know what to do. He said, what I love doing, he said, is stall flying, backcountry flying. And look, there's my little Super Cub in the back of the hangar. He said, when you qualify, he said, you can have a go on that. He said, but in the meantime, check out your mission, go onto YouTube. And he said, and I suggest you look at people like Corey Robbins, Mike Patey, Trent Palmer, just see what they're up to. He said, because those guys are really enjoying themselves out there. So I did that and I was really hooked. I started to follow all of them on YouTube and got very excited about the prospect of flying in those sort of environments. Anyway, roll on a period of time. I was signed off on the Super Cub. I flew it for a couple of months, and then a bit later on, I managed to actually buy my first plane, which was a Christian Husky, an early Aviat Husky, which I had for 6 years. And in that time, I got to know many, many people through the Flying Farmers. I flew to farm strips, I flew to Scotland a lot, and really started to explore and sort of meet people in this very fledgling aviation niche that started to grow here in the UK, which was wonderful. And then I came back from there. I felt that I wasn't experienced enough, and I thought, well, there's only one place I can go is America. So I signed up with TAC Aero in the States, and I went there, and I had circa 6 days worth of training with them, which was fantastic. I learnt a lot, really brushed up on my skills, and then I brought that back here to the UK. And now I'm very keen on stall and backcountry flying here in the UK. It's a growing niche, and I really hope that it grows more, and I'm all for helping growing it over the next few years.